Guys, how about a quick and dirty tool review on a Horror Fright spindle sander, just to give you some heads up on it, decide whether or not you want something like this, whether or not you would want to go cheap instead of getting something good. I'll tell you right now, I've had a Delta benchtop oscillating spindle sander that cost $279 over at Home Depot. I had it for 15 years. It was an awesome machine. It lasted forever, and just about forever. And when it broke a couple years ago, I kept thinking, well, I just don't want to get a cheap one. I want to get a good one. But I never had $3 to go run over and get a spindle sander. Finally, I said, I really need to get a spindle sander, man. I got to make some stuff, and I really need this. So I had $112, so I ran over and I got this on sale with the 20% coupon over at Horror Fright. And I try to avoid inexpensive tools that I know I'm not going to really find 100% effective. But hey, when you got to get the job done and you only got a little bit of money, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and get something that maybe isn't quite up to your standards. First thing you got to do is you got to get good sandpaper for the thing. You may have bought cheap on the spindle sander, but if you use the crappy sandy sleeves they provide, or you buy the garnet sandy sleeves you find all over the internet, they load up right away and they start burning the wood, and it's very frustrating. And you're pushing real hard on the machine, you're just wearing everything a lot faster. These are Diablos made in Switzerland. You get them over at Home Depot. You get a whole pack of them that has every size from ½ inch on up, and they really do the job. They are awesome. I can't say how much it's such a pleasure to have good quality sandpaper on your machine. It's worth it. If you get the cheap stuff, later you'll just be changing it out all the time, or you'll be burning the wood. So put good sandpaper on it, it gets the job done. However, there is one glaring engineering flaw to this whole machine, and it's not the fact that it's ridiculously loud. Okay, it's going to be loud because it's a cheap little Chinese machine. It's not the fact that it's running too fast, 1800 RPMs, so it'll get some torque. Okay, it really should be running about 1600 RPMs. That's about ideal. And it's not the fact that it has no built-in dust collection system whatsoever. It has no fan. They could easily have put a fan on this thing and blown the dust out the back. But no, they don't do that. You have to hook it up to a vacuum. You have to hook it up to a dust collector, or it'll be a filthy mess in no time. It's not that, none of that. Those are just, what you get with a cheap machine. This is an engineering oversight. When you make the crush washer that's supposed to crush the rubber drum and make it bulge and make it grab the sleeve from the inside, you cannot make it the size of the damn sandpaper. Okay? You just can't. It doesn't work like that. What happens is if you crush it down, like here's one that I crushed down with this washer that's on here now, okay, which is for the 3/4 roll, it bugles it. It crushes it outwards. So you're trying to crush it down so it won't spin, and instead of crushing the rubber, you're crushing the paper. The paper's spiral wound. You can tell that's about to start coming unwrapped. I could pick at that right now. I could make that come off if I wanted to. If you try to use the smaller supplied washer, which is for the ½ inch paper. Now, on the ½ inch paper, there's no rubber sleeve, so you really don't have an option here. You have to crush it between a washer the same size as the paper and the base, because there's no sleeve. There's nothing to keep it from spinning. So the only thing that's keeping this from spinning is the edge friction, and of course, that's going to bugle it out too. But if you use the smaller washer, it's too small and it crushes way down inside and it bugles it out here. It bulges it out here, which is no good, obviously. So the solution is to take it upon yourself and fix it, okay? Because for $112 and you've already bought it, what are you going to do? You're going to take it back and say, no, they don't care about that. You don't care about that. You just want to use the machine. So put a nut and bolt on this thing. stick it in this thing, turn that thing on, turn this thing on, hold this thing against the edge of this thing, and take it down. Take it down, take it down, check it, check it, check it, until the sleeve slips right over it. And once your sanding sleeve slips over it, then you can actually use it, because you cannot use it right now. If I were to stick that in there and tighten that down, all I'm doing is crushing the sandpaper, making it unravel, and distorting it, which is exactly the opposite of what you want. So right now, the 3/4 is, you know, within the right size that I can do it. You can see this is way too small, okay? Can't do that. But the 3/4 one is close enough that I can use the 1-inch paper, but I can feel it starting to bulge it out, you know. So until these get fixed, the machine isn't that useful. But other than that, hey, for 112 bucks, gets the job done. It will shape relatively hard woods like maple. Okay, I'll give you a quick sanding demonstration. Let me get these little parts off here real quick. I don't want to have this thing running forever. Annoying you? Well, I'll just go into some maple here. See the amount of dust? Alright, now let's turn on the dust collector. Dude, the dust collector works great. Anyway, so the reason I was doing that was basically to show you just how important having a vacuum or a dust collector on it is. Night and day. Night and day, between dust just piling up everywhere and you having to wear a dust mask and dust all of your glasses and all of your body, to very clean but very loud. And it'll definitely gnaw away on relatively hard woods like this maple. And you can do precision work. You can get it down to the point where you can, you know, see daylight through the wood. You know, you can get your job done. That's the bottom line. How long it'll last, who knows? I think if you use good sandpaper and you respect the fact that it's a cheap machine that isn't built for heavy use, I think you'll get plenty of life out of it. I think the good sandpaper is really key. Having a good sanding roll is going to make a huge difference in how hard you're working and how frustrated you're going to get trying to get your job done with the little machine. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting Mountain Storm with reviews, comments, likes, and subscriptions. And if you need a cheap spindle sander, check out the Central Machinery 14-inch oscillator over at Horror Fright. And get chooching.